Here I'm talking about the Akans and the Hebrews today. I wanted to start with the history of the Akan people. Akan means the first people, the foremost people. That's what Akan means. And we trace our ancestry all the way back to the creation story. It shouldn't be that surprising because most Africans trace their ancestral history back to the creation story. What I thought was interesting is even though there's a lot of different, stories about where we really came from. One of the stories is that we were the original inhabitants of the land of Canaan. And that was pretty interesting to share here. Of course, back then it wasn't C. There was no C. There's no letter C in any of the African languages. It's K. So a lot of the Akans, some of the Akans believe that it was the land of Akana. And they were, what happened was they migrated from the land of Canaan during the Arab invasion. So we're not sure whether the Akans were there during the time that the Israelites came in, or whether they had left before them, but they do believe that they were on that land initially, and then migrated out of the land of Akana into the sub-Saharan Africa, where they made up the ancient Ghana and Mali empires. Eventually, the story goes that they followed the sun this whole time. They were following the sun until it rested in a place where they built their altar, called it Ghana. What's interesting now is that Ghana is actually the closest country to the equator, the middle, pretty much the center of the earth. There's something called the southern crucifix that goes with the longitude and latitude. And in the middle, the 0 degrees on the equator, Ghana is the closest country to that center. And that line runs right through a place in Ghana called Tema. So, they taught this in schools, when we were like in the 4th grade or 3rd grade when we were in Ghana. We didn't really understand the significance of it at the time, but now as I grow older, it has a lot of significance. We are the largest ethnic group in Ghana, made up usually of the Fantis and the Shantis, and within those two tribes, there are a lot of different languages and small ethnic groups. The Fantis, what's interesting is the Shantis are known as the warriors. They were the ones that fought against the whites during the slave trade. They're the go-getters, very aggressive. Fantis are a lot more laid back. Intellectuals, it seems like more diplomatic. They were the ones that kind of dined and took the whites as friends when they came in. And that's part of the story that my grandmother told me.